Hey, what's up guys, John here. Rite Aid has just filed bankruptcy. CVS and Walgreens are not far behind.
Pharmacy chain Rite Aid filing for bankruptcy. Once the largest drugstore chain in the country.
Rite Aid, one of the largest pharmacy chains in the country, has filed for bankruptcy. Last month, the chain announced it was closing stores. Rite Aid is billions of dollars in debt and is also facing lawsuits stemming from the opioid crisis.
They are closing hundreds and hundreds of stores in all major cities all throughout America.
CVS Pharmacy will be closing 900 stores all over the country over the next 3 years.
Walgreens is preparing to shut down hundreds of stores. The company's CEO says 150 closures will happen in the U.S. and the other 300 will close in the United Kingdom.
For guess why? Theft, crime, increased wages. You know, they're saying that employees deserve more money. Well, these big box stores have a solution for that. That's going to be to remove most of their employees and really change the shopping experience to keep themselves profitable. But how are they going to do this? They're going to level the entire economy, the entire shopping experience, and bring it back with this new solution that I'm sure you're not going to like. I don't like it. I'm going to show you factually what's happening so you can plan in advance so you understand where this world's really going. 2024 and 2025 are going to be unreal. It's going to be unlike anything we've ever experienced before. Please hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's really going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, do not let it sit there. As this economy changes and contracts and lenders begin losing more and more and more money, they're going to be very careful on who they lend to. You're going to want excellent credit to position yourself for a world of uncertainty and a world of opportunity for smart and savvy investors to go out there and pick up distressed deals. So if you have any problems in your credit report, we'd love to help you at GreatCreditFast.com. Book a free call below by clicking the link. Take a look at this. So 459 bankruptcy filings in 2023. That's more than the full total years of 2021 and 2022 combined. Rite Aid files bankruptcy as for the debt load, right? $4 billion in debt this company has. The company, which began in 1962 as a single drugstore in Scranton, Pennsylvania, employs around 45,000 people across more than 2,000 locations. In 2015, it entered the pharmacy benefit manager business, serving as a middleman between insurers and patients and helps to process prescriptions. It's now planning to sell that business called Elixir in bankruptcy. Now, if you look at what Walmart's doing with their pharmacy businesses, they are laying off their pharmacists, reducing their hours dramatically, and they're leaning heavily into AI and technology. Think about that. People go to school for 8 years to become a pharmacist. Now AI has taken that job, right? This is where we're headed. And when they say 45,000 people, think about this. This is just one business. There's $2 trillion in corporate debt. So they are trying to restructure $4 billion. There's $2 trillion of debt that has to get restructured next year. Think about how big of a problem we're walking into. All of these very, very debt-ridden companies are going to be walking into this big problem, which is going to equate to massive layoffs. And the big question is, how do people pay mortgages? How do people pay their bills when they have no source of income, right? So it's going to be a real strategy game the next year or so. So really position yourself and look at what's happening so that you can see things clearly. Hit by the pandemic, Rite Aid began, they were hit by the pandemic, but they were deemed essential. Mom and pop businesses, they were hit. They were the ones that were hit during the pandemic. Rite Aid began a series of debt swaps and pay downs between 2020 and 2022 to try to cut its interest expenses. According to court papers, it was also closed 200 underperforming stores and entered sale-leaseback deals to fund during the Chapter 11 process. Rite Aid reached a deal with lenders for $3.45 billion in financing and entered agreement to Elixir to be acquired. Now, look at Walgreens. 450 locations. They're closing 450 stores. Then, you look at, just Google it, everything. They're closing stores like every week. Then you look at, another Walgreens, right? They're 9,000 locations. And they're just closing more and more and more and more stores. CVS is closing 10% of all its shops as it moves online amid rampant increase in shoplifting. They're closing 900 stores by the end of next year. 900 stores. And so CVS is set to close hundreds of stores across the country as it undergoes a complete retail overhaul as more outlets move towards online sellers amid rampant increases in crime. The major drugstore chain is coming to an end of its policy launched in 2021, which will see 300 stores close each year, meaning 900 will have closed by 2024. In the announcement, which has hit headlines again recently amid rampant shoplifting. At a chain bosses, they said that they were undergoing new retail footprint strategy. Now, this retail footprint strategy is shocking. But, I mean, you look at San Francisco, you look at Los Angeles, crime, Chicago, Philadelphia, you name it. Crime's getting out of control. And just imagine what crime will look like if interest rates continue to be elevated, and the job market continues to soften and the cost of the world gets more and more expensive. People are going to, kind of dismiss any type of consequence for a crime. They're going to be looking at survival, right? They're going to be looking at survival. What I think is going to happen is there's going to be a major change in this shopping experience, very similar to if you look at what Kroger is doing and Walmart and Target. This is what they're all talking about doing. From the consumer side, the technology forces companies, so they're going to be using technology to surveil every single customer that goes into any store. Now you have to ask yourself, if you're a mom and pop business and you have to pay $25 an hour or $20 an hour for a clerk at the front desk, and you have to pay top price for goods to be able to sell, and a lot of people are going to be stealing from, what are you going to do, right? Many of these people are going to have to go under. But if you look at the business model that these large corporations are getting ready to integrate, their profit margins are going to continue to climb. Meanwhile, the competition is going to get wiped out. So from the consumer side, the technology forces customers to do work that the store employees usually do. Aside from people who don't like making small talk with the clerk and folks who are in a rush, it's hard to see who benefits from the self-checkout. Stores like self-checkout because it eliminates workers at a time when retail wages have been rising. Not paying people to scan your purchases appeals to companies trying to cut costs. The problem from the corporate side is that self-checkout comes with increased theft, right? People they don't scan items. They might miss a couple things, might miss the steak, might miss some of these, expensive cheeses and random things. And so what ultimately happens? The store ends up, taking a haircut and everyone using it. So what is their solution? They're going to be using AI to prevent theft. Very similar to if you look at an Amazon One store where you scan your hand to go into the store and then everything inside of your cart is weighed and they know exactly how much it weighs, they know exactly how much weight's in that cart, and if you pay and that weight is off by how much you're willing to pay, there's going to be a problem, right? You're not going to be able to leave the store. This is what they're trying to do now. Walmart, Target, Kroger, and I think it's going to be going to every store. Best Buys and all these stores are going to be doing the same thing. And so how's this going to work? So some people prefer to have a human scan their items will go to self-checkout even if it makes them uncomfortable. Now Kroger plans to employ artificial intelligence as a monitor. Cameras will watch the self-checkout lanes and AI will examine how customers scan their goods. So how you're scanning your goods. A company called Everseen Visual AI will virtually examine the video, flagging any discrepancies. The AI flags will not only incidents of customers stealing, but also abnormal patterns and will alert store personnel. So if a customer does not officially scan their bag of items, even if they are not stealing, they could face the indignity of a store employee coming to examine their bags. The technology alerts customers when an item has not been scanned. When a second item is missed, store personnel will be alerted. Kroger's chief has claimed that such technology has reduced over 75% of errors at self-checkout. Kroger may offer Walmart's blueprint. So self-checkouts benefit stores, not customers. This new technology works with an assumption of guilt that appears to be the new reality of the grocery space, and Walmart and Target seem like they're going to follow by adopting this sort of technology. Kroger wants to eliminate both theft and honest error, but this technology does so in a way that benefits the company while subjecting honest customers. I mean, this is a very unfortunate situation that we're walking into, where we walk into a scenario where there's no longer this, mom and pop type of relationship. I love going to those small businesses. I had a relative recently come into town. He went to a hotel that is very close to my house, and before all the staff, it was like a mom and pop type of hotel. And now all the staff was completely replaced with different staff, and came in one night, he left, he didn't want to go back to that hotel. He moved to a different location, right? So when you take away that mom and pop type of experience from these stores, you take away the entire experience of shopping. You take away that connection. Well, now you're going to basically have people, they're going to be on their phones all day long, and when they go to the store, everything is going to be through technology. Everything is going to be through monitoring and surveillance. It's a problem. Like, this is society is not stepping into the right direction. Kroger wants to eliminate both, but I mean, from a business standpoint, if you own the business, think about this is like a money printing machine. Because if you own, let's say, a large grocery store or a large, large pharmacy location, and there's only 2 employees, you think about how profitable that business is compared to another location that has 20 employees, paying them $20 an hour, $800 an hour in just expenses. You start to look at how much expense these companies are saving because of this. This is what I think is going to happen. My bet is that next year, when we see that $2 trillion of corporate debt get restructured, you're going to see some of these really big chains start buying out all of these other locations. There's going to be a huge consolidation of the shopping experience, and that consolidation is going to be supported with tech and surveillance, and there's just going to be monopolies everywhere. It's going to be like Amazon on steroids with every shopping experience. What do you think about this entire thing? Do you think that this is a good situation? I mean, that's not going to stop Kroger. They bought the technology to use 1,700 stores, plans to deploy it across the entire chain of 2,800 stores in 35 states. The problem is that self-checkout, the technology works in a way that's good for the company. Customers' comfort and concerns are damned. We're already reporting fewer errors at self-checkout. Not only does this translate into reduced retail shrink, it also gives us much more accurate view of what stock is going out of the store. So this is what I think is going to happen. This is what I think is going to happen 2024, 2025. Major consolidation of the entire shopping experience. Drop below, hit the like button. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer of all time, we'd love to help you at GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.